What it do, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Axis of Combat podcast, episode 71. On today's agenda, we're going to be breaking down UFC 307 happening in Salt Lake City, Utah. Also, on the boxing side, we got two main events from two different promotions that kind of piqued our interest. We'll be breaking those down right after the UFC fights. It's your boy Ray Boogie, Rayo from the AO, Boogie Kahuna, my co-host.
Hugo the boss, Hugo got next. You already know. And before we get into any of these bets and any of these picks, you already know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe, follow Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Everybody enjoying these visuals right now, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, you already know.
First fight on the card, at men's lightweight, we have Alexander the Great Ape Hernandez going one-on-one with Austin Thud Hubbard. Hernandez, 14-8, fighting out of San Antonio, Texas, 32 years old. Hubbard, 16-7, fighting out of Denver, Colorado, 32 years old. Not the most exciting fight to really kick off this card, I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Agreed.
We got two journeymen, essentially, here, right? You know, guys that are never really going to be in the top 15 in the UFC. Alexander Hernandez...
Habitual line stepper. Axe Donald Cerrone.
You know, came out hot. This is actually like, I think his 14th fight in the UFC. He's been here crazy. For a bit.
Yeah.
You know, clapped up Beneil Dariush in his debut. Got a win over OAM. Ran into a chainsaw and Donald Cerrone had to show him where he belonged in the pecking order of things.
Talk some serious shit that fight.
Talk some serious shit, but you know, you got to back it up at the end of the day. And Donald Cerrone let him know, boy.
Levels.
There's levels. Austin Hubbard, also been fighting for a bit. Doesn't have the most extensive resume when you compare it to Hernandez's. I'm going to be picking Hernandez here. It's tough because I kind of think Hubbard is the smarter fighter, I guess, or the more high IQ fighter. But everything else goes to Hernandez. You know, he's got the youth, he's got the physicality, he's got the athleticism. It's just Hernandez is just one of those guys that, like, you know, he can be a top 15 guy if he just put it together. It just doesn't. You know, he's moving back up to lightweight here, which I don't like. This should be a winnable fight for him here. Give me Hernandez here. Not with that much confidence. When it comes to betting, I don't like fading mid with mid. It's probably a stay away. Hernandez is likely to fuck this one up somehow, some way. Pure pick, Hernandez, and it's probably decision. What about you?
Yeah, I'm with you. On Hernandez, just out of pure talent. Austin, his nickname is Thud, but he's knocked nobody out.
Not really a finisher.
Not really a finisher, man. I think he makes better decisions in there. I could see him upsetting this, but the thing is, he's not really a finisher and a guy I trust to get the finish. I think he can wrestle Alex down, but I think Alex is the better grappler. I think Hubbard also makes the better decisions on the feet. I think he knows how to stay on the outside, but I do trust Alex's weaponry a little more because he'll mix in the kicks and he'll mix in the wrestling occasionally as well. He's younger, should be a little stronger, should be a little faster. I'm going to lean Hernandez here, but I'm with you. Not with a high degree of confidence because he will find a way to fuck this up. There's a good chance that can happen too. From a betting standpoint, big stay away. But Alex is the lead on my side.
Next fight on the card, we have Tim Means, the Dirty Bird, going one-on-one with the Crusher, Court McGee. And this fight is happening at welterweight. The Dirty Bird, Tim Means, 33-16-1, fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, 40 years old. Court McGee, 21-13. The only guy from Utah on this card, 39 years old. So now we got Battle of the Geezers here. Court McGeezer, a.k.a. Teddy from Snowfall.
He does look like him.
Going one-on-one with the Dirty Bird. And we're not talking about the Atlanta Falcons. We're talking about Tim Means. I'll start with the McGee side. I mean, he should have the grappling advantage here. He should have the wrestling advantage here, right? Tim Means, not really known for his wrestling. Court McGee, unfortunately, not really known as of late for his chin. He is the slightly younger guy here. He should win this on paper, but I'm going to go with Means here. I'm picking Means because he's more active. I trust his stand-up more. He's just one of those guys that he's still he kind of looks like he's still in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like he still wants to participate in the game. He's still very active in the game. Court McGee kind of fights like once a year. Has been looking worse and worse. Where Tim, there's been a fall off, but not really as drastic in my opinion. Give me Means as the pick, but from a betting perspective, I don't hate the dog shot on McGee. Again, if he goes to his wrestling, he should lock this up. But you have to trust McGee to get there. Then you also have to trust McGee's chin to hold up. Give me the Dirty Bird. Decision? Nah. Fuck it. Inside the distance. McGee's never been submitted, so I'm going to say the Dirty Bird by KO. Second, third round. Fuck it. What about you?
Yeah, I'm with you on Tim Means here. And the reason being is because I can't trust Court McGee to go to his wrestling offensively. If I could trust him to go to his wrestling offensively, I think he could lock this fight up. And I think he'd be more than willing dog play on my side at least. I don't trust his chin. Like you said, I don't trust his ability to offensively wrestle when he needs to. His last few times where he actually had control time is because people jump guard on him or push themselves against the cage with him. Tim doesn't even want to play that game, but if Tim has to play that game, can beat him up in the clinch, is good with his elbows, is good with his inside boxing and striking, knows how to roll with punches well. And if he gets taken down, Tim can grapple. So I got to go with Tim here. I just don't love the line at like minus 250, minus 230. I think that's a little crazy for a 40-year-old man. I don't hate you if you want to take the dog shot on Court McGee here. I got to see if I'm going to get there. But I just think Tim has the tools to win this fight. And I think he has more tools to win this fight than Court. That's why I'm going to lean him. Not sure I'm going to bet this fight. But don't hate a dog shot on Court McGee. Tim Means the lean. That's what you got from me.
Next fight on the card at men's light heavyweight. We have a fight that we broke down, I think, a couple episodes ago. I think episode 68, if memory recalls. Didn't happen. Don't remember who pulled out. They rescheduled it here in Utah. I don't know why they're putting light heavyweights in Utah, but we got OSP Ovince St. Preux going one-on-one with Superman Ryan Spann. OSP 27-17.
Horrible fight.
Fighting out of Knoxville, Tennessee, repping Haiti. 41 years old. Ryan Spann.
Horrible fight.
21-10. Fighting out of Beaumont, Texas, boy. 33 years old. My stance really hasn't changed here. This fight's probably even scarier now that it's at fucking altitude. But listen, I know OSP has looked like he's found. Like, OSP's always due to like really kind of throw a monkey wrench into some fucking plans once in a while. He did it with Injekwu. He's done it several times. If I look back at his resume real quick, I mean, Shogun Rua, yeah, whatever, he's old. Alonzo Menefield, probably shouldn't have won that. Olin Jacek, probably shouldn't have won that. Tyson Pedro, probably shouldn't have won that. He's down to, upset a guy once in a while, but then also lose to Felipe Lins.
Yeah.
That's just the OSP way. Ryan Spann was my pick before. He's still my pick now. I don't trust his IQ. I question his heart sometimes. He's one to, if you show him the door, that he gets hot enough, he'll like, sir, I'll be taking that door.
I'll be looking for that way out.
Exit stage left, you know what I'm saying? But listen, he's the younger guy. He's the more athletic guy. He's got the faster hands. He's got the wrestling upside. Probably the finishing upside, in my opinion. Damn it, Ryan. Just get it done. I think Ryan's going to get it done here. Inside the distance, probably KO. Not that much confidence. And in terms of betting, I probably shouldn't. I might stay away from it, but depending on what props come up, I don't know. I might fuck around. But Spann as the pick officially, and I'm gonna say by KO, rounds 1 to 2. What about you?
Spann's the lean too, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like there's just more value playing OSP. I don't like Ryan Spann at any kind of minus money, let alone minus 300. I feel like fight ends by sub is live here because Ryan jumps guillotine a lot. And if he doesn't get the guillotine, the same Preux choke is right there.
But St. Preux is always live for that Von Flute. So I
feel like fight ends by sub here is not the worst play.
And at altitude,
Ryan
Spann,
sloppy. Yep. But one of these boys is going to look for the way out.
Somebody's going to burn their battery real quick.
I just don't trust Ryan's process, man. Like, he should have beaten Anthony Smith. I thought he beat Anthony Smith the second fight, but he should have got him out of there. His last 3 fights, he lost to the vampire from fucking Blade 2.
Oh, Anthony Smith's brother.
Bogdan Guskov. He got revenge for him. He lost to Krylov, who I'm not very high on. And he lost to Anthony. His last one was against Dominic Reyes before he kind of, found this recent resurgence. I just can't trust Ryan at this point, man. Not at these odds, not at this line. I think OSP's a system play here. And I think fight ends by sub is sneaky. I really do, especially if it's juicy, like a plus 8 to 900. I'll play the shit out of that. Because I just feel like at altitude, him wrestling into him, especially if he gets rocked, Ryan's gonna jump guillotine if he wrestles into him. And if he doesn't get the guillotine, Von Flue choke right there. Because he's gonna have his arm over his head, and then all OSP has to do is get the crossface on Ryan.
And at altitude, this fight could get fucking ugly real quick.
Ugly. Give me Ryan Spann as the lean, but I like the fight ends by sub here if it's a juicy enough number. My apologies. This fight's so bad it's making me speak bad. So yes, give me Ryan, but don't trust him.
Next fight on the card at men's welterweight, we have, surprisingly, I think this is going to be stuck on the prelims. It should be on the main card, but Stephen Wonderboy Thompson going one-on-one with new Mansa Joaquin Buckley. Thompson, 17-7-1, fighting out of Simpsonville, South Carolina, 41 years old. Joaquin Buckley, 19-6, fighting out of St. Louis, Missouri, 30 years old. Surprised it's not on the main card. I think there's still a chance. I mean, we do this breakdown pretty early in the week. They might move it back up, but Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, I know, hasn't been, I guess, the easiest to work with lately. He kind of wants to, pick his fights. He kind of wants to,
Not even the easiest to work with. He's just demanding what's his. Not to sound anti-UFC here, but I mean, he made weight against Michelle Pereira.
I feel like they're punishing him.
I feel like they are. Yeah, that's
kind of where it all started. Joaquin Buckley has been on a tear. This is new Mansa has found turned a new leaf. Mm-hmm. Wonderboy, he's getting older. He's still dangerous though. I mean, his karate is top tier. Striking, hands down, probably still the best of the best in the division. But he is slowing down. He is getting a little older. Joaquin Buckley found some new life here at 170. Got the grappling edge. Got the wrestling edge. Got the athleticism. He's got the bars on the mic. Give me Buckley here to upset Wonderboy, I guess. I don't know what the odds are, but
yeah, so it wouldn't be an upset. Wonderboy is actually the dog here.
Oh,
and it makes sense why. So all the points that you mentioned, I'm with you. I think Buckley is gonna bulldoze Wonder Man because he's 40 and we should not be calling him Wonderboy anymore. It's just what it is. I love Wonderboy, by the way. We've been big supporters of him on this podcast. We love his style. We don't like the criticism that comes his way, particularly about his fights, because people say he's boring and that his fights are always boring with the opponent and that the opponent should be able to do more, but the opponents don't do more because he's so fucking good on the feet and he will wheel kick you to the shadow realm.
Yes.
If you make any mistakes with him. With that said, I'm not sure he's going to be able to deal with Buckley's wrestling here.
No.
I don't. And I just think Buckley can double leg him from one side of the octagon to the other. This new cut to 170, I trust his cardio more because he's more disciplined with his camps as well as his eating habits and his cardio habits. He's going to have the power edge here. I think he can beat him up on the inside. I think he can pick him up and put him down. I don't think he's going to sub him.
No.
Because Wonderboy has pretty good, surprisingly really good sub defense.
You know what I think this fight's going to look similar to? I think it's going to look similar to like Wonderboy's fight against like Gilbert Burns.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
And I think Buckley, again, I agree with you. I don't think he's going to sub him. I think if he gets him out, it's probably going to be like ground and pound.
Which is hard to do against Wonderboy because Wonderboy is good with scrambling back up. And Wonderboy is also very good at mitigating damage on the floor. He just is.
Yeah, he's a little squirmy bastard on the ground.
Yeah.
He makes sure he makes it difficult. If you're going to get him down, it's difficult. When you get him down, it's a little difficult to hold him down.
I like Buckley by knockout decision here.
I don't hate that.
Yeah, that's how I would play it. But if you're asking me, probably more decision. But I think knockout decision's appropriate for this fight. I feel bad for Wonderboy. I feel bad fading him, but the future's now, old man. And that's That's where this is at this point.
No answer.
He's he's going against a gorilla. Like in this dude, Joaquin is an ox, dude.
That's a beast.
Oh my goodness. Give me Joaquin Buckley.
Next fight on the card at women's strawweight, we have the retiring Cookie Monster, Carla Esparza, going one-on-one with the tiny tornado, Tecia Pennington. Esparza is 19-7, fighting out of Redondo Beach, California, 36 years old. Tecia Pennington fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida, 13-7 overall, 35 years old. Like I mentioned, this is pretty much confirmed. I think this is Carla Esparza's last fight in the UFC. Tecia, still in the game, just came back from pregnancy, kind of got fucked over by the judges. Yeah. I was gonna say she got fucked over by Tabitha. It wasn't really Tabitha's fault. It was the judges. But that being said, I know Carla is retiring. The R word is dangerous.
She's a dog in this fight too, which is insane to me. But
I'm picking Carla to win this fight.
I think so too.
And the reason why, I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, she's literally and probably still is the best wrestler in this division.
Outside of Tatiana Suarez.
Yes, you can make the argument Tatiana.
Maybe Zhang.
And maybe Zhang. She did lose to both, right?
Zhang's a brute.
So,
yeah.
Esparza's a beast,
Beat Rose Namajunas, man. Took her down too. Twice in the second fight, so.
And I love Tecia. The issue with Tecia, though, is that super small, even for this division. And she doesn't really have that put away
power.
The discipline. That can discipline the opponents. And, because both of these girls are north of 35. Give me Esparza here to win her retirement fight and I guess ride off into the sunset. And I hope she gets her flowers, to be honest. I think people like to give her shit for that fucking Rose Namajunas fight. I kind of blame that a little more on Rose.
I agree.
I mean, what do you expect Carla to do? I mean, whatever. I'm not going to get into a fucking rant here. Whatever. Give me Carla Esparza in this fight by decision because Ticia's a tough girl to put out. What about you, my brother?
Yeah, I'm with you. And I'm with you just because of the wrestling edge here. I think Carla's wrestling is super underrated. I would love to see her on the scale, see if she looks super locked in just to get this one out the way.
That's true.
And make sure that she's in super tip-top form for this fight.
Yeah, this is one that I would probably like to see weigh-ins and even her talking, her mentality.
She's like, I want to finish strong here. Yeah. And just get this, and just get it out of here.
Because Tecia isn't a pushover.
Yeah,
she's not.
She beat Tecia on The Ultimate Fighter. She handled her on the floor. Tecia hasn't improved her wrestling defense since then. She's seen in the Tabitha Ricci fight, but Tabitha Ricci is not the technical wrestler off the single leg or the double leg that Carla Esparza is. Carla will shoot a push-through double on you and get you to the floor.
Yeah, not Tecia. Tabitha's more of the body lock with the inside-outside trip kind of game.
Correct.
And yeah.
It's a different. I just think the open mat wrestling is going to be Carla here. 100%. And I think Tecia is going to have a hard time with some of those entries, even though she has improved her takedown defense. I just think I don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say Tecia can't win this fight.
No, not at all.
Carla at plus 150 is crazy. This fight should be a pick'em.
It should be a pick'em. I understand why she's the dog because, again, retirement, a lot of people aren't really locked in. I get it. And Ticia's been, you can say she's been a little more active, right? So I kind of get the line, but you're right. I would, if I was to redo the line, I'd probably do it more of a pick'em.
Yeah, and listen, in the UFC, look who she's lost to. Outside of Randa Marcos, who Randa was just on an ass-kicking tour of The Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
She's only lost to Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Claudia Gadelha, Tatiana Suarez, and Zhang Weili.
Yeah.
It doesn't get much more top tier than that. Those are all former challengers. Champions. And then one former challenger in Claudia who can grapple with Carla.
Yeah.
At that elite level. Like Claudia Gadelha is one of the better elite grapplers that we've had in strawweight history. And she challenged for the belt twice, if I'm correct. So I got to lean Carla here just because I feel like she's only lost to the top tier girls here. Even later in her career, she beat Rose, who people thought Rose was going to run through her in that second fight. Give me Carla. Probably Carla by decision here.
Next fight on the card at men's middleweight, we have Ihor, the duelist, Potieria, going one-on-one with Cesar. I don't know how to say his nickname.
Say Cesar Almeida.
Cesar. I'm just gonna say Cesar Almeida. You know what? I know what that means in Portuguese though.
What does it mean?
Honey. You know why? Because he's so damn sweet. I guess I'm assuming the hands and the feet. Right, we'll get into that anyway. Potieria, 21-6, fighting out of the Ukraine, hailing from the Ukraine, 28 years old. Sweet honey boy Almeida, 5-1, fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 36 years old. Now, when you look at this fight on paper, I mean, you know, Potieria, the younger guy, the bigger guy. He's fought as heavy as heavyweight. Spent most of his career at light heavyweight, but
Will he even make weight is the question.
that is one question. The second question is, will he survive?
No.
I'm going to be leaning Almeida here. You know, we know his background. He's got the kickboxing background. He's went the distance with the legendary, we'll speak about him later, Poatan himself.
You don't know what time it is,
Several times. He even got a win on Poatan.
which is impressive.
Went the distance with the man. Almeida a little older, a little longer in the tooth, making his venture into MMA. He's seen what Pereira has been doing. They say, you know what, I can fucking do that. I beat this guy too. And I think this is just another step in the right direction for him. I think Potieria, listen, I know he's got hands.
He does.
They're fast. They're heavy. He can hit. He can crack. Don't sleep on the boy. I tried to fade the man before. Not against this man here.
Yeah,
I think Almeida is going to pack him up inside the distance.
Been packing them up.
I agree.
Give me Almeida.
Rounds 1 and 2.
Rounds 1 and 2
Yeah.
to really put it on Potieria. Sorry, Ukraine.
He's
Lost another one.
He's a minus 380 favorite. That's the only thing I can't get around with on Almeida. Yeah, you may say Potieria has the wrestling upside, but Almeida has a very good get-up game. He knows
Underrated
how to
get-up
get
game.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's very hard to hold down. Potieria is not the biggest submission artist. So it's like, you know, but Cesar, if he can't control Cesar and Cesar gets up and this is a kickboxing battle, Poteria's in trouble. Cesar's front leg is very fast. Striking on his hands, his boxing is very, very sharp, very fundamental, but very sharp. Like he's very down the pipe and he hits very hard. I think it's a tough fight for Potieria. I think rounds 1 and 2 for Almeida are an easy play here.
They would have been packing them up.
I'm hoping it's knockouts at plus money because I would be playing the shit out of it. I don't see it being plus money, so we're going to play rounds 1 and 2. But if it's plus money in the knockout, you play the shit out of it. I think he's going to get him out of there. He probably won't even make weight, which the UFC doesn't like. I think Cesar's probably going to take the fight anyway and get him on and under probably a round and a half. Give me Cesar Almeida, rounds 1 and 2 knockout.
Next fight on the card at women's strawweight, we have Marina Rodriguez going one-on-one with Iasmin Lucindo. Rodriguez, 17-4-2. Fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 37 years old. Iasmin Lucindo, 16-5 overall, fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 22 years old. The first thing that jumps off the paper, extremely wide age gap here. Lucindo, 22, might be one of the youngest fighters. Now, I was going to say females, but one of the youngest fighters on the roster. Going against Marina Rodriguez here, who is definitely a little long in the tooth, but don't let that fool you. I mean, I think she's still pound for pound probably one of the better strawweights in the division. On paper, I can see why people want to lean Lucindo here. I don't know if it's a hot take or not, but I'm not. Even though she's on a 3-fight winning streak and Marina has lost 3 of her last 4. I mean, compare the resumes. The more I think about it, this might be maybe a step too fast. You know, it might be a big step up for Lucindo, where this is a bit of a step down for Rodriguez. Give me Rodriguez here. I think she's the dog.
Oh, wrong button. Wrong button.
Listen, you can let that one rock too. I mean, because if this fight stays standing, it's going to be a solid striking battle, especially at strawweight for women. It's going to be exciting.
People gonna bleed. It's gonna get cut open, and somebody might die.
I don't know if anyone's died in this fight, but the striking is going to be 50-50 on the feet, in my opinion. I would say 60-40 Marina. I think Marina's a little better than her on the feet.
I think she is.
But Lucindo's the better wrestler. So Lucindo, I think, is going to be the stronger girl. Marina's takedown defense is hot shit, to be frank.
It is. It's literally her kryptonite.
And if Lucindo starts finding trouble on the feet, she will wrestle her down because she kind of did that with Alex Pereira's ex-girlfriend. He's just all over this card, low-key.
Pollyanna.
Yeah, Pollyanna Vieira.
Yeah.
Pollyanna started having success in the feet, and she just took her down.
Pollyanna's like,
I agree. Not the best.
She's one to just fall on her back too, to be honest.
Not the best takedown defense either, but I just think Lucindo is gonna wrestle into her when she can.
Yeah.
And I think this fight's 60-40 on the feet. I just think Lucindo's the overall better fighter here. I think if she can get on top of her and control her, which she can, and she did submit Vieira, which is impressive because Vieira can grapple.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, I just think, and it's not like Vieira was tired either. She got to the spot and she subbed her. That's what happened.
But I mean, if you want a quick hot take, I think Pollyanna is kind of like, I don't want to see she's checked out from MMA, but like I think she's just making so much like side hustle money,
Everything else,
OnlyFans and all that shit. Like she's doing her thing. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree. But with that said, I still think Lucindo is a real problem.
Yeah, not to take away from Lucindo's stuff.
That fight with Jerigi, who has a dustpan chin, was fucking close.
Yes.
And if we're being honest, Lucindo has shown that she's learned more from that fight than Jerigi did. Jerigi could strike with Marina Rodriguez.
She currently looks like she's on the better trajectory right now, for sure.
Yeah, Jerigi can strike with Marina Rodriguez. That's how good she is.
Yes.
Lucindo was able to hang with her and arguably win that fight. I thought Jerigi did win, but Lucindo has the rep. I thought Lucindo, you could make an argument for Lucindo for Jerigi, and that was a couple of years ago. She's better now, physically stronger now, a little more intelligent now. I got to lean Lucindo here, man. I just think she has the wrestling upside, and I think Marina has not shown me the proper takedown defense in her fights.
Yeah, listen, I don't hate it. It's just, for me, I just think, one, I don't know if I can trust Lucindo to constantly go to it, because I think she does kind of prefer to stand and bang.
I don't think she's going to need to. Marina, not the best chin either.
Hey, she don't got the best chin, but Marina, she's slick, boy. And then when she gets into that flow state.
Yeah, but she could get countered right, too. Because Lucindo does have a good counter right. I think Lucindo's the rightful side here, but I don't hate people who want to play Marina for all the points that my brother mentioned.
Yeah, don't hate me.
I'm just on Lucindo here.
Next fight on the card, and this is at men's what? Is this middleweight? Men's middleweight. We have the Trailblazer, Kevin Holland, not fighting Chris Curtis, who I just discovered was the original opponent, but stepping in, we got the Caucasian.
From the mountains of Caucasus.
From the mountains of Caucasus. Roman Dolidze.
What a name. Oh, my goodness.
Dolidze, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, but repping Georgia, 36 years old, 13-3 overall, going one-on-one with the Trailblazer himself, Kevin Holland, 26-11, fighting out of Fort Worth, Texas, 31 years old. So like I mentioned, this wasn't Kevin Holland's original opponent. How do you think the Chris Curtis fight would have went down?
A war.
That would have been sick.
Yeah.
Because Kevin Holland, you know Kevin Holland, if he don't got to really grapple,
that's a war.
That fight would have been sick.
Yeah. Curtis probably catches him.
Curtis, I would have probably picked Curtis.
Curtis's counter boxing is so good.
It is. And Kevin Holland, again, never been knocked out.
Yeah, it might have been the first one.
That could have been the one.
Curtis is
gotta give credit to Chris Curtis. Like his counter boxing, his boxing in general is
very good.
He's good. But that's not the fight we're breaking down. We're breaking down Roman Dolidze stepping in last minute here. Roman Dolidze, his last fight was at light heavyweight, where he also stepped in last minute to fight Anthony Smith. And that fight was
pedestrian performance.
And the crowd goes mild. Let's just put it that way. Will he repeat that performance? I think there's a 50% chance he might. I think his best way to win is to just, push Kevin Holland. Don't strike with the man. Push him, get him down, hug him, grapple him, sex him up. Barry Manilow, George Michaels, cue the music. Because I just think Kevin Holland, even though he's given up like size here, I mean, in terms of muscle, I think he's still the bigger guy. He's the better striker, in my opinion. More tools in the toolbox. If this fight does get to the ground and Dolidze can't really hold him down, I mean, I'm not going to say he's live for a sub, but he'll throw him up. Darce Cho King over here. You saw what he did to Homeboy. Commentary guy. What's his name? Retired. He should retire.
I can't remember.
There you go.
Oh, God.
Give me Kevin Holland here to win. I like Dolidze a lot. I just think he's a little bit limited in his tools. Getting off the couch is like not the best strategy. It works for Kevin Holland. I don't think it really works for Dolidze and his style. Worried about his cardio, especially at elevation here.
That's true.
Like, see that weight cut. Give me Kevin Holland here. Does he finish him?
Decision, I think so.
Okay, give me a little dirty decision then. Give me Kevin Holland by decision. What about you, brother?
Yeah, Roman, very durable. I think Roman's going to be the bigger guy, to be frank.
I think in terms of just like muscles.
He fought at 205, man.
He's a big dude.
I mean, he cuts down to 185, but he's fought at 205 before, and he's had success.
I wonder if because Chris Curtis fights at 185, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that fight, okay. So
yeah, I just think I think getting off the couch, that point alone, just you have to pick Kevin, because Roman, not the best cardio guy.
In Utah.
And Utah at elevation, Kevin's going to make him work with strikes. Kevin, not the best defense, but a granite chin.
Yeah.
So even if he gets hit.
He rolls with punches really well.
But if Roman gets on top of him.
Yeah, it could get a little hairy. I mean,
Kevin
not because he's a hairy man.
Kevin has great grappling capabilities, but Roman's grappling is legit on the floor. I just think it's going to get there fewer times than not, because Roman's entries and his ability to punch into entries isn't very good.
No.
It's not.
I agree with you.
Give me Kevin by decision here for all the points me and my brother listed.
Next fight on the card at women's bantamweight, we have the returning Kayla Harrison going one-on-one with Meno. I'm not sure what that means in Brazilian. Ketlen Vieira. Harrison, 17-1, fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida, 34 years old. Ketlen Vieira, 14-3, fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 33 years old. Give me Kayla Harrison here. This might be a hot take. I know me and my brother were talking off air, behind the scenes here. Vieira is probably a little more live than the bantamweight championship fight that's supposed to be taking place later on in this card. That being said, Kayla Harrison, they probably should have put her in the title fight immediately, but I think they kind of want to make sure she can make weight the second time.
I hate that she's kind of getting this cyborg treatment, but
it's a bit of cyborg treatment. They don't want to really pump up the PFL as much, let people know, she's doing it, But that being said, listen, all hats off to Vieira. She's got decent takedown defense, low volume, but when she throws, she hits hard. I just think Kayla's jiu-jitsu, and not even jiu-jitsu, her judo. World renowned. You already know she's like the best judoka in the game.
Her and Clarissa Shields are the two. They medaled twice in the Olympics at gold in their respective sports.
She's a monster.
Yeah.
I am worried that if this fight stays extended, because they're in altitude and Kayla's got to cut a lot of weight, it could get a little scary. Give me Harrison, ITD, ground and pound. Maybe submission. I don't know. I'm going to say ITD. Because I don't know which way I want to lean there, but give me Kayla Harrison to finish Vieira, and hopefully she does it early, because I don't want to see what this fight looks like in the third round.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Kayla ITD, not with the highest degree of confidence. It's not going to be a nice number because they got her sitting at a minus 750 to 850 right now.
Yeah, that's a little gross.
I think that's gross.
Yeah.
I think Ketlen, round 3, is a very interesting play for this fight.
Even Ketlen round 2.
I won't go that far. Yeah, I got to see the weight cut and this and that, but I won't go that far. I think Kayla does have enough, because she's had a 5-round fight where she's gone hard for 3.5 rounds. I know it wasn't at an altitude, but it was against a better fighter, Larissa Pacheco.
But it wasn't at 135 either, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I get it.
Scary.
I get it. I just think this girl arguably lost to Holly Holm. She lost to Raquel in the same exact fashion, being held up against the fence. I don't know how she's going to stop Kayla from pushing her around. I don't.
You're not wrong.
I think the physicality, she's dealt with physicality, but not like this. And the way Kayla moved around Holly should tell you everything you need to know. She moved her around. And Holly's a big, strong girl. Kayla used to fight at 45, even 55. Now she's fighting at 35. I think the only one that's going to beat her in this division is Amanda Nunes. And that's a very good fight, especially at sea level. Give me Kayla Harrison ITD here. I want to see how everything pans out. I might change it to decision later, because I feel like even if she could probably bank 2 and then survive the third. I also feel like Ketlen could get her out in the third too if she gets her back.
Yeah, Ketlen's live, man.
Yeah, Ketlen's not a good off her back though.
No, she's
I don't care what she's a world champion grappler. From where? Not off her back? I'm sorry,
She struggles off her back.
She does. And I think Kayla's going to get her. I have a hard time seeing Kayla not being able to get her there. And she's going to get all that lactic acid from altitude in her arms, just defending Kayla from getting position on her. When they get up for the second round, I think she's going to lose a little bit of lackluster power off of her punches and her kicks. She's going to feel the altitude and Kayla Harrison on top of her. I think Kayla probably gets her out of there. But we'll see how I feel later in the week about this fight. I just think it's unparlayable, and it's, I mean, how do you touch this fight? What are the lines going to be like? You know? We'll see what the lines look like when they come out. But Kayla Harrison's the lean. Give me ITD, but not with the highest degree of confidence.
Next fight on the card at men's bantamweight, we have the legend, the king of Rio himself, Junior Jose Aldo, going 1-on-1 with Mario Bautista. He doesn't have a nickname, but he should be like Sicario or something like that, because he looked like a hitman.
But Batista, it's I walk alone at Dave. You feel me?
Jose Aldo, 32-8, fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 38 years old. Mario Bautista, 14-2, fighting out of Glendale, Arizona, 31 years old. This fight is going to be good. I'm going to say just from a betting perspective, the overs are going to hit. I think this fight goes to decision no matter what. I don't think nobody's going to finish nobody. Mario Bautista, I think he's got that dog in him. I think he's very good. I don't think he's going to be able to get Aldo down, unfortunately. Aldo's just got legendary takedown defense. Hard to get to the ground. I do predict this fight is going to be on the feet for the most part. Maybe some cage pushing, here and there. Stand-up fight. Fight's going to go the distance. Can I see Bautista getting a split decision here just on volume alone?
Sure.
I like Aldo. I would like him more if I could trust him to throw more leg kicks. He is a little on the low volume side. He's always kind of been on the low volume side, at least like recently.
When he hits, man.
Yes. And
that's the thing with him. I started to jump in on you.
No. I mean, he's a fucking beast, even at his age right now. I mean, him and Davis and Figueiredo are doing to kind of like just reinvent their...
It's incredible.
In their own ways, but like they're reinventing their careers, their second legs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with you. Who are you leaning?
I feel like they're going to give Aldo the win here. It's going to go to decision. So
I agree.
Whoever you like, bet decision.
Or bet the dog. And Aldo's the dog.
Aldo is the dog. I don't know, but I just got this feeling that Bautista could, like, just on volume alone, I could probably win a split decision here. But I don't it's hard to not take, from a betting perspective, Aldo at dog money. I mean, it worked out last time.
Yeah.
Why can't it work out here again?
I also feel like Bautista does his best work when he's able to mix in the wrestling. And he's not going to be able to take Aldo. I'd be very surprised if he took Aldo down in this fight.
But I could see him just like cage pushing the shit out of him.
Like Marab did.
Yeah, like Marab did.
The thing is he going to be able to control him? Marab had the cardio to control him for 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And that was the difference. I'm not sure. I think Bautista does have decent cardio.
I think so,
It
too.
is at altitude, though. That kind of scares me off of Aldo a little bit, too, though, because he can gas if this becomes a slugfest.
I don't think cardio is going to be a huge factor. It just depends if maybe somebody blows their load a little too early. Pause.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
for the most part, I think cardio shouldn't be an issue in this particular fight.
I also feel like you have to lean Aldo just from strength for competition.
Oh, of course, his resume.
Batista, besides his last 2 fights with Blackshear and Ricky Simone, who's like ranked, and he just fell off a cliff, low-key.
Ricky Simone, who fucking burnt me.
After Sangedong, he just kind of fell off a cliff. And then Blackshear is fringe top 15. Very good fighter.
Underrated.
And he took that fight on short notice, and Blackshear was able to take him down and land damage on the feet, too. I feel like you got to take Aldo here at dog money, man. I really do. I understand.
I don't hate it.
I think it's going to be a close fight. I'd rather be on the dog side here, especially when I think Aldo's the bigger puncher.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Batista's very good with his striking, too. Does throw down the pipe. I just don't think he hits on the same stratosphere as Jose Aldo, man. Yeah. I'm just not there.
I just fear the volume from Aldo. That's all I do. That's if I could trust Aldo to really like throw.
Correct.
I'm on the fence. I don't hate the dog shot on Aldo. I think I'm gonna commit to Batista here by decision.
Yeah,
but like low confidence. It's split decision. If you got
it's gonna be
split decision prop. I'd probably take that.
I think Batista, once again, if he could wrestle him, I'd feel way better. I just don't think he's gonna wrestle him down. Aldo's gonna be bigger than him, more explosive than him, stronger than him. hit harder than him. I think him entering the space, this fight's either going to be really fun or really boring. That's what I think it's going to be.
Yeah.
And
I can see that.
because the thing is, if it's really boring, I'm going to be on dog money. Because I think Aldo's, the space that you can crowd on Aldo before he damages you is dangerous. It's just what it is. And Ricky Simón had his moments against Batista and took him down and wore him down. But that's a different style matchup. But I just feel like you got to, it's dog or pass for me here. That's how good this fight is. Give me Aldo by decision.
Next fight on the card at women's bantamweight for the bantamweight championship of the world, we have the champion, the reigning champion, Raquel Rocky Pennington, going one-on-one with the challenger and a woman we haven't seen in quite a bit, the Venezuelan vixen, Juliana Pena. Pennington, 16-8, fighting out of Colorado Springs, Colorado, 36 years old. Pena, 10-5, fighting out of Spokane, Washington, 35 years old. I'm a fan of Pena. I like the shit talk. I like the brashness. I like the attitude. I know it rubs people the wrong way.
Not me.
Not me. Maybe because we're from New York, we're used to the attitudes, but she's spicy, and I like
her.
it. You know what I'm saying? That being said, as much as I'm rooting for Pena here. I am. I think Rocky's going to do it. I think she's going to win. I'm going to pick Rocky here. I'm going to pick Rocky here only because I just think she's just the better MMA fighter.
Yeah.
You know, and she just and you brought it up earlier to me. She knows how to win. She finds ways to win. Pennington on the feet, I think it could style on her. Low key. I think she's got underrated boxing. The issue that people, have with Pennington, and particularly in her fights, is that, there's going to be a lot of cage pushing and a lot of clinching. She slows the fights down. She's just a good fighter. What she lacks in athleticism, she has in IQ, and she has in skill.
Yes.
Can Pena win this fight? She can. She could. She's got to make it a dog fight. She's got to make it dirty. And she's got to wrestle the shit out of her. She's got to control her. She's got to bully her. That's the only way Pena wins this fight. And I like Pena at dog money. There's one way to bet her. Bet her as a dog. You never want to bet her as a favorite.
I agree. And she's not a dog in this fight.
And she's not a dog in this fight.
Oh, you mean Pena? I'm sorry. Pena is a dog. Sorry.
Oh, she is. Pena is a dog.
Pennington is not Pennington is not the dog in this fight. And I don't have any interest in betting Pennington at favorite money either. I'm sorry.
I think what's the line on this? Because
minus 180 to plus 150.
I think this is lined correctly.
Yes,
in my opinion,
I agree with you.
So give me Pennington here by decision, but I'm not going to rule out Raquel getting a sneaky little dirty submission here.
I agree, because Juliana always seems to just have her head in the wrong places. She got choked out by GDR. she got triangled by.
I didn't mean to laugh. But
yeah, she got triangled by.
Wild.
By Valentina Shevchenko, or armbar. No, she got triangled. I just think Pena makes questionable decisions in there sometimes.
She's reckless, man. But that's what I love about her,
The thing is, I would say, and we compared, I think she's the female Dricus. I think she creates opportunities by causing havoc.
Yes.
And that's why this fight's so interesting. I'm going to lean Raquel just because she is the better fighter, but I don't know if I'm going to touch this fight just because I don't like the line enough on Juliana to play her. But I do think Juliana can create opportunities to put damage on her, land big shots. And if you ask me, I think she's the better wrestler here. I do. I think she can get Raquel to the floor.
Raquel's not impossible to take down to the ground. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think the last fight I remember watching where she got taken down several times. But it was like it was the third round. It's fucking Aspen Ladd.
Yeah.
And you know where she's at right now.
Correct.
Aspen Ladd could be, sidebar. I think she could be a good fighter, but
fuck her, man.
She's just like,
and her stupid ass corner.
She just doesn't I don't know.
Nah,
whatever. I'm all for that.
Yeah,
But no, the point I was trying to make is Pennington can be taken down. She can be. Yeah. She doesn't have immaculate takedown defense. It's decent, but I mean, Pena's the type of woman to really, if she wants it, she'll get it.
Yeah, I think that's a very strong possibility in this fight. With the fact Juliana's got the finishing upside in this fight. She has more finishing upside. Yeah, I feel like she can 100%. Drop her and hurt her. She can also sub her.
Raquel's tough though, man.
Yeah, Rocky doesn't get finished.
No, she
doesn't. That's why I'm that's the only reason I'm leaning Rocky here. Mm-hmm. But if you're asking me, this fight's a big stay away because I don't like Raquel at minus money, And I don't think the line's big enough on Juliana the player. I think this fight probably goes to decision. With that said, maybe a live bet on Juliana if the fight's close. That's where I'm at with it. I don't know if I'm gonna play it. I'm not there yet. We'll see. I want to see how these girls are talking, and I don't know. This is a very good fight. It can be very boring. It can be very good.
You know how Pennington. You know how Pennington's gonna talk. You know, she's quiet, my man.
Neutral,
respectful,
neutral.
And now you know how Pena's gonna talk. She's gonna be popping off.
Yeah, I like I said, if I could trust Juliana's IQ a little more, I'd be all over this, but I think Rocky has the better process. So I'm going to leave Rocky probably by decision here.
Next fight on the card, the main event for the light heavyweight championship of the world. We have Poatan, Alex Pereira. Chama.
Chama, damn it.
Chama no chama. Going one-on-one with the warhorse, Khalil Rountree Jr.
This is going to be the quickest Pereira breakdown I think we're going to have.
It might be, yeah. The champion, Poatan, fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil. Actually, they got him listed here fighting out of Connecticut, but I guess because of Tecia, right? But he's Brazilian, 37 years old. Khalil Rountree, the challenger, 13-5 overall, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, 34 years old. This should be Alex Pereira.
Yeah.
It's going to be Alex Pereira knockout round 1, round 2. It's going to be early. It's going to be a good fight for as long as the fight lasts. It's going to be pretty interesting. I literally had to do research on Khalil Rountree. I was like, man, if this man shoots one takedown, has he ever shot a takedown in his entire long UFC career? The answer is no.
Yeah.
He hasn't even attempted a takedown.
It's alarming.
In his entire UFC career, according to UFC stats. I didn't watch all of his fights. No takedowns.
Yeah.
He can do the funniest thing here. I don't think Rountree's the dumb guy. He turns into D1. He puts away the K1. Goes to D1. He's got a puncher's chance. Khalil does fucking crack.
He cracks.
He's broken legs in the UFC.
Yeah. And ribs.
And ribs. And faces.
Yeah.
And he's not afraid to take one or give one.
Thing is, it's the wrong one, the wrong guy to take from.
The issue is, it is Poatan. Like I said, like my brother said, this is going to be quick. Poatan's the side. From a betting perspective, I guess you bet the KO if you get a decent number, but don't force it because these numbers are fucking Jews. But that's what I got. What about you?
Yeah, I don't like fading Khalil like this, but this is a tough fight for him. And I feel like this is a favor from the UFC for all the times that Alex Pereira stepped in over the last year.
And have saved multiple cards.
Yeah, I think it's a stay busy fight. I think this is a big shot at Ankalaev, who they are not invested in.
No.
Because he's kind of fucking boring. Even though I think his style is great, I think he's a good fighter. But if you're asking me, he's the rightful number one contender here. Khalil's not. Khalil can cover space very well, but the problem is Khalil is not the biggest 205er when Alex is. Alex is one of the bigger 205ers. I feel like he's really built his body for the weight class, so even if Khalil does try to take him down in altitude, Khalil will probably gas a little faster, considering Alex has just worked on takedown defense and takedown defense against the cage. Jiri took him down, and Jiri's a much bigger man than Khalil, and he was able to get up. And as we said after the last Jiri fight, where we thought Jiri was alive on short notice, and after with the reads and, making better decisions and seeing the process the first fight, if you don't wrestle this guy, you're going to fucking lose. At this point, I just don't think...
It's pretty simple.
I understand Khalil has picked up Muay Thai in a very serious fashion over the last couple of years, to the point where he's even rocking his leg like Sagat in the ring and throwing kicks.
Oh, his whole stance and everything, boy. He's K1, boy.
The problem is he's only done it against guys that are MMA guys. You're asking him to outstrike a former two-division champion in Glory, the third guy inducted into the Glory Kickboxing Hall of Fame, arguably the greatest kickboxer of all time.
Please.
Who has probably more power than him, more precision in getting the shots to him in his body and his chin. And I just don't know how Khalil's going to deal with his leg kicks because he doesn't telegraph them. He throws them at very odd angles and very odd times. I think this is Alex Pereira round 1, round 2. I think he gets him out. Sorry, Khalil. I love you, man. I think you're a great fighter. I think you can beat a lot of guys in this weight class, but I think this is a very fucking tough fight for you, man.
I tell you what, if they throw some kind of goofy ass, because knockout's the only way he's going to win, right?
Correct.
They throw up some crazy ass goofy plus 1,000.
I'll play it.
Khalil knockout.
I'll play it.
I don't think that's the worst because I mean it's only path to victory, and if it's not like Pereira's got like a fucking immaculate chin either. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I mean he has a pretty good chin at 205 because Jerry hurt him, and then when Jerry hits everyone else, they were kind of very badly hurt.
That's true.
But Alex is he's so good at rolling with punches. Not as good as Stylebender. And remember when Stylebender knocked him out, he was also very fucking depleted.
That's true.
No one at 205 is really, really hurting besides Jerry. And he was still able to weather that storm and get him the fuck out of there.
What do you think the referee's going to be?
My Goddard. Yeah, hopefully. He's the best referee in the game, in my opinion. But
because if it's Herb Dean, it's got to be a body.
He needs a body. And yeah.
He might serve him up.
Yeah, I just think there's a lot for Khalil. And give me Alex by knockout rounds 1 and 2.
And that does it for UFC 307 popping off at Salt Lake City, Utah. But we got some sweet science to get to. 2 fights we're going to break down. And without further ado, I'm just going to throw it over right to my brother.
Yeah, so this weekend we have Nick Ball fighting Ronny Rios. Very interesting fight. I think Ronny Rios, seasoned vet, has a couple of losses, has only been stopped on his feet. With that said, I'm just going to go through this real quick. I think he's a little slow. He's more of a linear fighter. He's a very up and down fighter, very Mexican style. I think Nick Ball's going to do whatever he wants in this fight. I think Nick Ball is very light on his feet, very explosive, has a lot of good punching power, very good at going to the body. Ronny Rios is not very strong to the body. I think this fight's probably going to be stopped with a shot to the body. Give me Nick Ball by knockout just because of the youth, the size. Well, not even the size because he's tiny. The youth, the speed, the power. His last contest against Raymond Ford was very impressive. Very impressive. I actually picked Ray to win that fight. I thought Ray edged him, but I'm not mad at the split decision give to Nick Ball. The fight was extremely good. Fight of the year candidate. But this is a step down, big step down in competition. I expect Nick Ball to handle business accordingly. I expect him to defend his belt. Give me Nick Ball. I think he gets him out of there within rounds 3 through 8. I think he gets him out of there.
All right. And without wasting any time, let's get to that top rank main event.
We got Janibek Alimkhanuly. Don't want to misspell his name. Alimkhanuly, I think that's how you pronounce it. Going against Andre Mikhailovich.
Fucking nailed it.
Yeah, terrible. I apologize. What I will say is this fight is a very interesting fight. I think the line's a little blown out. I don't think Janibek should be a minus 1,600. Andre, undefeated, younger, bigger, has fought as high as super middleweight. What I will say is I think I'm going to lean toward Janibek in this fight. 2 reasons. More experience, has the better competition, better hand speed, had the better amateur pedigree, also has the more credential boxing accolades, has medaled in major competitions. Andre has only medaled in a Golden Gloves. His amateur career was also not great. He's kind of someone that's kind of found himself as a professional. Very good, knows how to stay on the outside, knows how to go to the body. I just feel like Janibek from the southpaw stance is going to be able to land the jab on the orthodox fighter and beat him with the jab. Both of these boys go to the body. I think Janibek might hit a little harder just because his hands are faster. Give me Janibek. I don't know how he's going to get it done because I feel like this fight can be a little closer than people think. But I do expect his skills to show and flourish in this fight. He has more experience. There's a lot of reasons to be on his side here. But I just don't agree with the line, which is why I'm like, maybe I should throw a little bit on Andre. I just don't think his hand speed is there, and I think Janibek is going to find angles to hit him. The question is whether or not Janibek's going to knock him out or go to decision. I like, if the over is low enough on the rounds, I like the over. I don't know if he's going to be able to get Andre out of there. Andre's a very good technical boxer. Give me Janibek. I'm going to say by decision. But I might change my pick later. Like, I might change it to knockout later in the week. But I'm going to say by decision because that's my gut reaction after watching a few fights on Andre. He is the best fighter, in my opinion, at 160. But he is going against a bigger guy here. Give me Janibek by decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, that does it. We broke down some UFC, some sweet science. But without further ado, I think you're tired. I'm tired. I am a little under the weather. But my brother, just take us home.
You already know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe, follow Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Everybody enjoying these visuals right now, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell to stay up to date.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, you already know. Love you guys. Episode 71 in the books. Good fights this weekend. Enjoy them. Holla at you. See you for episode 72.